Hello and welcome to this edition of The Real Estate Beat. I'm Amy Atkins.
I'm Mike Meena.
He's Mike Meena. I'm Amy Atkins. And today, you know what, Mike? Let's touch on, in the buying process, what comes up in appraisals and things like that, and what people need to be aware of with properties and things. We've had a lot of rain, things happen with the house. So let's touch on that.
Rainy days and Mondays always get me down. Well, that was the carpenters. But needless to say, when we have rain, we see roof leaks. Mm-hmm. And appraisers walk into houses and they see stains on ceilings, even if those roofs are repaired. So I think those are major issues when it comes to an appraiser seeing that. And some of them can be faint. I might have one or two in my house right now, but some of them can be faint, and then some of them are a little more. But the other things they look at is other kinds of damages. So they look at health and safety concerns, mm-hmm. which may be, hey, there's no hand railing on the staircase going up. There's, a torn piece of carpet. Ugly carpet doesn't matter. It can be, aquamarine blue. I don't care what it is. None of that matters. But if there's a hole in the carpet, that's a problem. A hole in the wall, that's a problem. So those are kind of the health and safety issues we've seen where underwriters will say things like, oh, well, that step has a crack in it out back, and the appraiser took a picture of it, and that's going to be a problem because someone could have a trip and fall thing, situations like those that are major issues. But right now, what I would say, if I had a roof leak that was repaired, before you list that property, do yourself a favor and get some paint on that ceiling, mm-hmm. so the underwriter doesn't call it out, so you don't need a roof cert, all that other stuff. Because sometimes handymen do those roof repairs, and you're not going to necessarily get a roof certification.
And for the most part, there has to be flooring in the house, correct?
There has to be flooring, yeah. Yes. So we get that question all the time. It's like, hey, I got concrete floors. Mm-hmm. Yes, you do. You have concrete floors with tack board all around it. That means there was carpet, or with nothing on it. But unless it's a treated floor, like some of these restaurants and things like that, where they do a treated lacquer over the floor, then it is not considered flooring. You can't get away with no flooring at all in any room, even a bathroom, even if it's a 5x5 bathroom. Now, there may be situations where you get a buyer that's going to put 20% down, and we don't need an appraiser to go out to the property, and you might get an appraisal waiver. That may be a situation that happens, but it may not happen every time. And again, do you want to limit your options of who your buyers are going to be?
So I have a question for you. I'm a seller, and I've got some issues with my property.
Oh,
right?
I bet you do.
Yeah, well, are there any options for me when I don't have a lot of cash on hand to get some of those repairs done? Can you touch on that?
No, I know. We'll do like a mini bridge loan. I think a mini bridge loan would work. So Amy, you need to, you want to redo your flooring. You want to do your carpet. You want to do your flooring. You want to paint. You want to paint the ceilings because you had the roof repaired. You may replace a window or two.
Right.
We can do all of that stuff and loan them money on our mini bridge loan, assuming they have the equity and may or may not have the credit, along with what we talked about last week, which is helping them get their credit card. We can even give you the earnest money deposit on that next house you want to go
Perfect. Buy. Yeah. So if you don't have the money to fix up the house, but you kind of want to get it for sale because all your money's kind of tied up with your equity, right?
Right.
But you've got, and let's face it, especially with some older properties, a lot of people that have lived in there for years, they may not even know that you have to have flooring or that you have to, fix that hole, or if there's, some of the roof is kind of hanging down a little bit. But we've seen some really interesting things, I know, and I know some of our realtor friends have too as they go into properties. So all that needs to be done. What is considered really a health and safety issue versus just cosmetic?
Cosmetic versus health and safety is anything that's like a hazard, a trip and fall, a broken window, like I said earlier, those are all going to be health and safety. Now, if you're missing countertops, mm-hmm. or even, I've even seen them call out a couple pieces of tile missing on a counter, which what's going to really get hurt? What, a glass is going to fall in the, because I don't quite get it, but they consider that health and safety, or they don't want that.
Well, we've seen cabinets pulling away from walls.
Yeah, doors on the cabinets. They don't accept that. That's an unfinished house.
Okay.
Is what they're looking at there.
Okay, so good to know. And who usually sees this first? An appraiser, and that should be done before the appraiser gets there, right?
You want to get the house in order before the appraiser gets there. Again, if there's 20% down in an appraisal waiver, and we can run the DU before to find out if we'll get an appraisal waiver before you accept an offer. And if that happens, and these photos are nowhere to be found on the internet, then we can get away with it because we know nothing about that stuff.
So real estate agents, just know if you're going into that listing or you're thinking of taking a listing and you kind of see these items and maybe your seller goes, well, I don't have the money to fix that up right now. Maybe the mini bridge loan would be the option.
Mini bridge would be a great plan. And the other thing is that, by the way, appraisal waivers are only good up to $999,000 on a purchase price. So.
Oh, good
that's
to know
it.
because everything's mostly over $1 million now.
Yes. Everything's mostly over $1 million,
Yeah.
so it doesn't work. Fannie's talking about increasing that, but they have not done so yet.
Yeah. Well, good to know. Well, if you have any other questions about health or safety issues or the mini bridge loan or anything having to do with that, give us a call. And
Just give us a call anyway. I'd love to talk to you.
yeah. So again, great information. And again, we thank you for watching. And again, there's links here on YouTube. So see where it says share. You can take that link and you can share it with anyone who needs to know that might have those cabinets hanging from the wall.
Yeah. And if you see the spot where it says Sunny, you can give that to Cher so Sunny and Cher can be back together. Would that have anything to do with Cher?
I have no idea, but I'm kind of thinking share with an S, not a C, but
Well, if I could turn back time, that's all I could say.
good call on that one, Mike
Yes,
Meena.
uh-huh.
Yeah, okay, fun stuff. Again, thanks for watching the show. This is the Real Estate Beat with Mike and Amy, and we'll see you next week.
If I